Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. What a glorious, glorious day out there. Beautiful day yesterday, so I got out into the garden, done lots and lots of planting out, which is really, really exciting. Lots of stuff from seed, so that's now out there, and probably need to go and be one of those people who goes to the garden centre bank holiday weekend. Oh my god. Anyway, hope everyone's all busy and doing lots of lovely, lovely things, and like I say, enjoying the weather. Yeah, so let me, oh, there we go, straight away. That's brilliant. Excellent. We like that. So go live. Excellent. Nice and simple. Fingers crossed, he says. And let's have a look. She should be joining. Fingers crossed. Yay! Oh, it was all. I always get. I'm a little bit panicky every time. Is it going to be right? Whatever. Lovely to see. I know that we've chatted lots on the phone, and I've seen you on Instagram. So it's lovely, obviously, to see you
Yeah,
on Instagram, and it will soon be in the
yeah,
flesh. So tell me, introduce yourself, your business, and tell us what you make and sell.
yeah. So I'm Imogen from Imogen Melissa. I am the home of Beady Goodness. So I create embroidered artworks and kits, and then other beady goodies. Yeah, and I just champion hand embroidery, beading, creating something unusual, something different. Yeah, and something unique.
Excellent, excellent. And so, why did you set up your business, and how did you come up with your business name? Which I can probably work that one out.
Yeah. So I set up my business last year or 2020 in the lockdown, so we all had lots of time. But I finished uni in 2018 and did a few roles in different embroidery studios in London, did a couture bridal one, and then I worked for a fashion company and interiors, and I enjoyed it, but I found I wasn't very fulfilled creatively, and I always knew I think I wanted to work for myself. I just knew that was what I ultimately wanted to do. So yeah, so I decided to set up Imogen Melissa, and the brand name came from, it's my first name and my middle name together. And I used it for a project when I was at uni, and it kind of just stuck as the name.
Yep.
And I really like the letters in it because they're really cursive. I think as a visual person, I find it very pleasing to look at.
Yep.
All the M's and the O's and S's and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, that's how the brand name came to life.
Excellent, excellent. And so, whereabouts are you based, and where is your kind of workspace? Where does it all happen?
So I'm based in Farnham. I moved here in December, and I've just set up a little workspace, which is kind of this bit behind me. So it's in my living room. It's just a little corner in the living room, and I have all my pin boards everywhere and beads and embroidery everywhere. But it's really nice to have a space for it, because before I was in my sister's old bedroom, a little kind of putting all my stuff over hers. So it's nice to have this whole space dedicated to it, and I've got loads of storage for all the beads and materials. So yeah, it's really nice little space to be in.
Yeah, and I suppose as well with yourself, you have to be organised. Yeah.
Yes, massively. Yeah, all the beads are all color coded. It's very
Yeah.
satisfying.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, we all kind of love organised things, don't we? And obviously, when you're working with something, and you probably know all the beads and where they are, and putting things
Yeah,
together. So of knowing where it is instead of that panic of yeah. So is
yeah.
it kind of in sort of the colours then, or how, so you see all the colours together?
Yeah, I have little baskets, and they're all in their color groups and then in a rainbow order, and all the threads are all in their rainbow order colors. It's very satisfying.
Rob just said I love a bit of OCD, so yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, it
Even just
definitely is
getting
a
all the
bit.
thread together and it all, all looking great, so that when you're working,
Yeah.
you can kind of find it. So,
Mm.
and sort of we'll go a bit more about your sort of work as well, because I think it's interesting for people to know a bit more about it. But have you a favourite item to create, and why have you chosen that? I know a lot of people find this one hard because sometimes they say they haven't found it yet, or they're still working on it, or their first one is their best one. So what would you say is your favorite item to create?
I think my favorite item is always just the embroideries, because I sell kits and things like that. But I think the straight embroideries, I've got one here to show because I feel like it's easier showing sometimes.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah.
So yeah, so doing the embroideries is just my favorite because it's so unique. Everyone is different, and I kind of, the way I do it, I don't really know how it happens. It just happens, and it's a
Yeah.
really nice process. And I just kind of take my time, and everyone is totally different. No technique is always the same, and the colors are
Yeah.
always different. and it's just a really nice process for me because I love working with my hands and doing the embroidery. That's what I'm super passionate about. So yeah, definitely doing the embroideries is my favorite thing to do.
And kind of looking at that, because I know, but what would you say is your inspiration for your embroidery, would you say?
Yes, so all
Yeah.
the embroideries are inspired by coral reefs. So the
Yep.
3D
Yeah.
quality to them is all inspired by the little sea anemones and different things going on. And I've got different levels, so there's different heights in the beading, some flatter and some more 3D. And it's just, yeah, mimicking those coral shapes. And it's got the movement as well, how the beads will move as it turns.
Really?
As well.
I think it looks great, but I imagine, you know, as well, if you at a market, people must love it because it's tactile and you can see it, feel it. Yeah, it's really great. I just think it's great. It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, and I know that I've talked about you in previous, you know, tens that we've done. But what I love about you and your kind of embroidery is taking something and bringing it into the 21st century, something that you might think is kind of old fashioned. You're really kind of, which is.
Yeah, I love that I think that's a real passion of the brand, is modernizing embroidery and showing it doesn't have to be something that's old fashioned and that our mums and grandmas did. It's something that is really modern and you can do really exciting things with it.
Yeah. And you must as well, as your customers, I can imagine you're at a market, probably, you know, it's going to be the older generation that are going to go, wow, and then tell you their stories of their embroidery, and also you're going to have the kids, you know, who are going to love it, and then you've got, you know, the in-betweens, haven't you? So
it's like the whole spectrum. It's really nice of seeing everyone's views on embroidery and what it is to them, and so it's really nice, and people are often surprised at what it is because they've just never seen anything like it and didn't know you could do that kind of thing with such an old skill. So really
brilliant. And what was lovely as well is Thimble Fabric, who you know, we were speaking about, and it was lovely because as when we curate our events that you know about, she is and something that I feel quite passionate about as well is making sure that, you know, if you're there, that you stand out. And we had that discussion, and I said, are you happy for, you know, her to come? And you said, we're totally different, which you'll see, won't you, as well? And also it was showing embroidery, but also when you're there with her, you'll be able to show it in different ways.
Yes, exactly. Different. You can do her kits and you can also do my kits, but they're a totally different experience. It's not going to be the same.
Exactly. So you know, hers is very much, she sort of writes sayings and things like that, where yours is very much 3D. So it's really nice. And you know, that's sometimes if there is a similar sort of you know, sometimes if somebody's really unique, then they're great. But if there's somebody similar, I will kind of ask the other business owner, which I think is a really nice thing to do, and say, are you happy with somebody else? Because it's competition, but actually it's healthy competition, isn't it? Which is great.
And
definitely.
it'd be so nice to meet her as well at the market. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, she signed up, and you know, she was just doing quiz because she just had a baby and all of that, and she just signed up for November. And I've been, you know, we've been following each other, and she's part of Pedal as well, which, you know, I'm a market host and a Dapper Suave. So and you are as well, aren't you? You're part of Pedal as well. I just chatted to Nikki earlier just very quickly, and you know, so with her, and then she wanted to do you know, do another one. She's like, I've got, you know, I'm ready to do more, which was lovely. So have you been working on anything new this year? Anything that you might want to show us? Well, you showed us that one, but is anything new at all?
Yes, so I've been working on some new embroidery kits. So I've got a little kit here. It's always easier just showing than saying. So the kits come with different fabrics and then lots of different beads to get you going. So at the minute I just have 3 colours of the kits, but I'm hoping to bring out 3 more in the next month or so. Just because I think a lot of people, they love following my journey on Instagram and seeing what I can stitch, but ultimately they're quite crafty themselves and want to give it a go themselves. So the kits I found is a really good way of tapping into that market and providing something for them that they can do. So new kit colours, and then also working on some beaded jewellery at the minute as well, which is really exciting. That's quite a big trend for the summer. So doing some tiny little earrings that are like the tiniest little daisies. And then some bracelets and necklaces kind of just in the beaded different beads.
They're great. They're lovely.
They're
really
just
cool.
something quite fun for the summer and something you can I'm hoping to sell them as kits and as products, so you can either buy it ready-made or do it yourself. Just because it's nice to have both options. You never know what someone might want to do. So yeah, lots of beady jewellery, which is exciting because I'm quite passionate about that, and I would wear all of it myself, so it's quite nice to do it, make it, I can wear it, sell it, and yeah, works well.
Yeah, brilliant. And you know, as you know, with as everyone knows, we've got the Dorking events, but we've also got the Gildings events, and that's something next. I know that you've ticked to say about your workshops, so that is on my list. And you know, with Gildings, we are going to be doing some workshops there, so you'll be able to, because you've signed up for that as well. So that'd be great that people can actually, you know, you can have specific workshops there, and people can make things there and then, which will be great. Which we need to discuss. I know it's just on my list to do. It's been I've been kind of messaging people because it's more sort of for June. There's a lot more for December that with the workshops, but we will still do them. I think it will be really great to have them, and we'll do them over a couple of days so that people can come out, and especially because the second day we're to 8 o'clock, so we can kind of the kids, if we want to sort of focus on that, we can do another one later on as well, which is it's going to be great. Definitely. So we have an ethos, a customer service about being unique, creative and friendly. Is there an ethos, a saying or a song or something that you kind of work with?
So I was thinking about this one for a while, and I think it's quite tricky, and you're like, oh, but I think just going for it is what I remind myself of frequently, because I think naturally I'm quite an introverted, more of a shy, like to sit back and watch things going on, but if I'm a business owner, I need to be the forefront of my business. So I think I have to remind myself of that quite a lot, just to take a breath and just do it, don't think about it. And it goes the same with creating new products and things like that. I think initially when creating new products, it can feel very overwhelming and daunting when something's been quite popular or people have enjoyed it. The thought of creating something that's going to be equally as successful is like, but just going for it and not holding those thoughts in your head and just getting on with it. And the more you can do, the better it's going to be, because you're going to see what works, what doesn't work, and see how it all goes. The more I can do, the better it's going to be. And the more the business can get from it as well, and all of that. So just going for it, I think, is my little motto at the minute.
Definitely. It's really nice, I think, because when I did some social media training, and it's all about your unique selling point, and it's kind of like people kind of, and you just having 3 words or something that you kind of stick by is really, and a lot of people kind of struggle on that one, but they actually straight away they know it. They start talking about something. It might be that it's about sustainability, it might be about recycling, it might just be, you know, whatever. So it's really good. And also what you've just said there as well, it's about growth, it's about the journey that you're on as well, isn't it? Of probably yourself, I can get the impression is that you kind of want to evolve and do different things, so you're not just doing the same thing over and over and not enjoying it, because
exactly, you're not getting anything from that, are you? And you have to push out your comfort zone to get the rewards, and I'm keen to do that. I know I need to do that to do it, so I will.
Definitely. And you know, I kind of think about, I know the person is on here at the moment, but she knows who she is. I'm not going to name her, but there was a time when a while ago, I went round to her house. She told me about starting up her business, and you know, she was a mum, she had 2 kids, and she was, you know, she's very shy, and I kind of knew that. But the thing was, I kind of knew that I could just push her slightly each time out of her comfort zone. And each time, you know, I can see and at Christmas, I said to her, I just said how amazing her products had got and how her confidence had grown. And it was just, you know, she could then speak to the customers and actually not afraid, because, you know, customers are scary things, aren't they, sometimes?
Unpredictable.
And it's just having, you know, I'm trying to give people as well that kind of, so that they can talk to other stall holders before and kind of like, oh, I'm a little bit, you know, how do I kind of get over that? And you know, just having that spill, isn't it, to get to the customer to engage with you. But once you get there and you get it, and you know, then all of a sudden at the end of the day you've gone, oh, I've made a few pennies here. It's always, you know, and then it's that thing that we're trying to say, if you're going to sit there on your phone or not interact with anyone, and then at the end of the day you say, I haven't made any money, it's like, well, there we go, that's why, isn't it? Exactly. exactly. And it's small, you know, small little steps, and each time that confidence it
Mm.
does grow as well. So, yeah. So, what would you say? I mean, you just said there, but this goals and dreams. I think because I used this one when we were in lockdown, and I think it is. You've
Mm.
still got to have goals and dreams, no matter what's going on around the world. So, what would you say your goals and dreams are?
So for Imogen Melissa this year, developing new product ranges, homing in on the kits because I think they've been really popular for me. So yeah, expanding the kit range, doing that, and then also the workshops, which we mentioned briefly. So yeah, running some workshops. I'm in conversation with Farnham Maltings to hopefully do a workshop with them soon to get that up and running. I did a little practice workshop with my friends and family a couple of weeks ago, which was really fun. It was just nice to see, does it actually work? And
Yeah.
it did. It's a relief to know, and just knowing how it would work. I think for me, being a bit more introverted, just knowing that it does work and I can go into a room with strangers and teach and it's fine.
Yeah.
Knowing, I think it was just a good confidence boost for me to know that it does work and it will be successful, and they've all really enjoyed it, and it was a really nice afternoon.
Yeah.
That me with a lot of confidence for that. So yeah, workshops is a big thing this year. And then also hopefully be able to take it full time, because I currently work part time on it. So I'd love to, by the end of the year, towards the end of the year, be able to take it that full time and be able to live off it would be great. Because it's always a juggling act doing it part time. You're juggling all the balls. So it'd be nice to do it full time. So yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I kind of see you kind of like a little Saturday morning, you know, the kids kind of, you know, yeah, and I think it would work. And, you know, those kids out there that might be, you know, I think at the moment they're so kind of focused, you know, they're on their phones and bits, aren't they? And I think we need to kind of get kids to interact. And, you know, if somebody is shy and they're sat there with a group of other people making the same thing, and actually then at the end of it, they have some jewelry that they can go, I made this, you know, and it's, you know, when they, you know, get complimented on what they're wearing, and that's going to give them that little confidence boost, and understanding what goes into making as well. I think that's probably, you know, I keep banging on about the kids of today, the younger generation, but I think they are pretty clued on
It's
of how things are made. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And that like mindful moment of using your hands and like showing people that you can still make things with your hands, and it's so rewarding, and there's so much to gain from doing that. Not just it's just such a rewarding experience. So it'd be nice to champion that as well.
Definitely. And, you know, especially with you're dealing with kids who, you know, might be struggling, whatever, to actually then have something that's unique, and it almost kind of says, look, I'm unique as well, and so is what I've made. And that's you know, I kind of really love that. You say your support network, which you've almost said there, which is great. Obviously taking about your friends and family with the workshop, which I think is really lovely. You've kind of used them to help develop. But yeah, who would you say is your full support network?
So I think my mum is my total rock. So she has run her own business for several years since I was tiny, and she's a garden designer. And so I think just growing up with her running her business has just been so inspiring, and just seeing her do it and knowing that it's possible. Because I think a lot of my friends, when I say, oh, I want to work for myself, they're like, what? Like they just don't really, if they've not witnessed anything work for themselves, they don't understand it as much, or so I think having witnessed her doing it for herself, I'm like, well, that's obviously what I'm going to do. So yeah, she's been my total rock, and she's supported me so much through everything, and she's always on hand to talk about any new business ideas, and we do have regular business meetings together, which is very handy. And she's got a great business mind as well, because I'm quite a creative, so it's good to have her to kind of tame it in a bit. And then she's really good at helping me prepare for markets, and because with all the kits and stuff, a lot of work goes into weighing out all the beads and doing all these kind of long tasks that just take time. So she's really good at doing that, and I'm very grateful for her for doing that.
So,
and then my boyfriend and friends and family are also super supportive too, and they help out with any skills that they also have to offer. So my boyfriend works in communications PR, so that's quite handy, trying to tap into that at the minute. So just kind of utilizing anyone I have.
And as well, isn't it? I think as you know, as a small business owner, you kind of realise that all of the things that go into it, it's not just about the making. It's then about, you know, getting the products, it's then about selling the products, it's how the products look, it's the photography, all the financial. There's a lot, you know, and I always say to yourself, if you're kind of doubting about it, start writing all the job titles that you do, and you kind of go, tick, yeah, I do my marketing, I do the finance, I do the HR, I do the catering, all of that. We did that
all
in
of it.
Yeah, and it feels quite satisfying actually to actually think, yeah, I do all of that. And actually what you just said there, I think is lovely, using other people you've got to use their skills to help you. You know, it's amazing. There's people I know who are slightly older who use their children to help them with, you know, social media, and you know, if they're doing it, then get them to help you. There was a lady, and she's now on it, but she was the only person that wasn't on Instagram, and now she's on it, and it was her son that got her on it, but she still needs a little bit more training, which I'm probably going to do soon. Actually, a bit more training. I was saying the other day, I might get just some people just do it in the house, so it's a bit more, it feels a bit more relaxed, and you know, that sort of thing, which is great. So the next question is, so what events are you doing with Curated by Dapper Suave?
So I'm doing my first market review on May the 15th, and then I'm also part of the summer event, the June 22nd and 23rd, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, really looking forward to next month.
Cool, excellent. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing, and obviously, you know, we'll get cracking on with the workshops and that. That's kind of next week on my list to do, because we can then start planning how that's going to work. But we were there on Thursday. We were there with our taking show, and we had loads of tables, and we've come up with a really great way of actually making it work, which we think is better for you guys, and also for customers, and also from other events we've done where it's kind of worked. So that was moving tables around and measuring, coming up with all sorts of ideas. Because you haven't seen the venue yet, neither have you?
No, I haven't. No.
I'll have to do a little video, because the people
that'd be great.
that couldn't come to the theatre, I'll do a little kind of just to show it. We were there on Thursday, and it was absolutely beautiful. The weather was lovely. There was a guy there, and he was mowing the lawn. He's a young lad, absolutely adorable, and he was on one of those hoverboards with his weather. Yeah, and he was blowing all the leaves. It was just awesome. It was so cool. He was in his element. Such a cool lad.
So fun.
So the last question. So why did you choose to work with us?
So I chose to work with you because I love how you try to create the department store feel at a market event. I think that's really nice, and it's quite unique. You don't see that with other market places. And then also championing the shopping small, and how people have become quite excited about shopping local. And it's really nice that you're homing in on that and really showing that off and doing the best you can for everyone who joins the market. It's just, there seems like there's a lot of support from you guys, which is really, really nice to know that you're not alone, because working by yourself lonely, and it's nice to know that I've got you guys and we're in the same boat, and it's just really nice team.
Thank you. Yeah, and we were just talking earlier about obviously Pedal, and you know, with the guys who they don't know it, it's a really great platform, because you know, I use kind of Nikki sometimes if I need advice, which is great, and she's there, and it's a real lovely little community as well with and she understands the quality, you know, when I'm looking for people for our events, the quality of people that we look for, which is so important. Even next week, I've got a couple more businesses to talk to, you know, foodie ones and bits for later in the year. And, you know, there are spaces, but it's filling those spaces with the right people where we could fill it, but we want to, you know, just finding new things. And we are actually tomorrow, thank you to Julie from Magics, we are going down to, is it Fell in Rob, where is it? He's not on it. There we go. It fell. So it's a big, massive kind of garden with there's lots of exhibitors there that are working with us. So we're gonna have a bit of a day out tomorrow. Go down there. Yeah, which is lovely. And you know, still looking for a couple more people, the foodie people, or just anyone that might be kind of later on in the year, which is really great, because you get to then see them, you know, in their glory selling.
Yeah,
which is
all
really
set
good.
up and
exactly, which is really good. So really, I'm really looking forward to see it. And I mean, God, you know, like you are with 26 Furley, thank you, Furley Garden Show. You're with another 26 brand new businesses, so which is amazing. So yeah, it's really weird as well, because we've actually this sounds crazy, we have done the floor plan for June at Gildings and December already. The floor plan's
Wow.
done.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it was like, oh
Wow.
God, we got made to do it. But it just helps us because
Mm.
in the room, you know, when Christmas, we're done. It's full. It's done.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
brilliant. And we've just for June. It's just looking at, believe it or not, just some food stalls and things like that. And if we can find, if they're not all the food, because we've got some good food, we'll probably put some stall holders outside that are relevant to being outside, if that makes sense. So gardening things or whatever. Yeah, exactly. So this will obviously be shared onto our Instagram. It then goes on to Facebook, LinkedIn, and our YouTube channel. So I know lots of people are watching it. They either watch it live or watch it on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. But there's a lot of people saying they're enjoying them. Like I had a space the other day, and they're like, "Yeah, we want to do it. We love it. We've been watching them." So which is really good.
Oh,
so
that's really
excellent. So yeah, we'll see you have a lovely weekend. Got any plans for the weekend?
Going for a lunch today and tomorrow, and just being outside as much as possible. Soaking up the weather.
It's so good out there. Yeah, enjoy it while it's there. I've got my shorts on again, so I'm ready. And I've finally swapped over. I have a winter and a summer wardrobe, so all of the short sleeve shirts are now hung up, and now the jumpers are hidden away. So I've got to do that. It's going to start raining, but no, it's fingers crossed. Excellent. So we'll see you in May, and take care. Have a lovely Easter weekend. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.